Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And just as Verizon's Ronan Dunn yesterday also presented at the Bernstein conference, we also had AT&T's communications CEO Jeff McElfresh also present at the same conference. And I watched both, and they were both about the same length, about an hour. And based on the title of this article, which I will leave in the description down below so you guys could check it out, it states AT&T's McElfresh doesn't dwell much on third place in wireless. Now, from his tone during the presentation, to me, I got the impression that he was pretty much saying there's only 3 carriers in the space currently competing. Somebody has to be 1, 2, and 3. That's kind of the impression that I got, but that his team wakes up every day mad and upset that they're in third place and they want to compete and fight to get the second and then the first place in the future. That's the impression that I got from his tone. Now, is he necessarily saying that they're in third place for a reason? Not really. They have all the tools in the shed to be competitive and to move ahead. But if there's only 3 carriers, it gets really tight. So some people have asked me in the past, so what do they base this ranking off of, that Verizon is first, T-Mobile second, and AT&T's third? Because if you count for all the connected vehicles and all the wearables and those connected devices, AT&T does in total have more customers than even T-Mobile. So from what I was told in the past, they base these numbers off of the ranking, off of the pure postpaid numbers. And there's nothing else attached to it. It's just pure postpaid. So Verizon has the lead on that. I don't know their exact numbers, but they have the lead on this by far. I think they're at like 89 million last I checked. And again, just to clarify, this is just postpaid. This doesn't include prepaid, any tablets, any watches. This is pure postpaid. So it's like 89 for Verizon. T-Mobile is at like 82, and then AT&T is at like 77. That's the last I checked. So AT&T postpaid only does rank third, and that's in wireless. Now, with recent growth that they're obtaining, are they set for a comeback? I truly believe so. And the spinoff of media started with AT&T TV, Uverse TV, and then DirecTV, and now spinning off Warner Media. That just further accelerates that they're getting ready to be much more competitive in the space that's already competitive. So T-Mobile has made the wireless industry competitive from the standpoint that they were very vocal and loud. The marketing was there. They started growing. They brought back unlimited, so everybody had to react. Verizon reacted. AT&T reacted because they saw the port outs. The port outs were massive. So now it's much more stable and mature. Yes, T-Mobile still competes. They're still growing. But AT&T and Verizon have since reacted and in some cases have been proactive. So new and existing customers is a big deal. Mix and match, something that T-Mobile still doesn't offer. So there's plenty of deals to go around. The only thing with AT&T is kind of the network portion of it. A lot of people are not confident in AT&T's network plans. They were confused for a while. So McElfresh kind of alluded to that, and he cleared that up. He says, yes, people were confused on our strategy because we were all over the place. And that's by fact. They really were. They had dibs in media, dibs in home broadband. Then they were doing other things they had Warner Brother Gamings. I mean, they were just all over the place. So now the spinoff of media, it kind of consolidates the company back to wireless and home broadband. And that'll accelerate over time. Home broadband, like I mentioned in previous videos, is a more tedious process because you have to lay fiber. You got to get right-of-way permits. You got to get contractors. You have to hire more of them if you are wanting to accelerate. So they're doing that. They're clearly doing that. And then once the spinoff is official next year, the middle of next year, CapEx also goes up to that $24 billion mark. Now, that's at the high end. That's likely the highest the CapEx has ever been to my knowledge. It's been around the 21 billion, but it was divided into so many slices of pie that you never really knew how much was actually spent on wireless. Now, that becomes much clearer. You can kind of guesstimate 4 to 5 billion going into a fiber on a yearly basis, because that's a tedious process anyway. So you don't want to take too much of the CapEx, because you can accelerate wireless much quicker. The infrastructure for wireless is already existing, that already has fiber as the backbone. So you just have to upgrade and do layovers. So you can anticipate 19 to 20 billion going into wireless. So what does the network look like now? Well, Miguel Fish says, although they're considered to be in third, the customer says the network is okay. And the recent reportings also say they have the fastest 5G download speed. What is that based off of? It's NSA. So a lot of people will say, well, T-Mobile this, T-Mobile that. T-Mobile is still on the larger scales running NSA as well. So yes, the LTE network is the backbone of these speeds, but that shows you that AT&T has a very good LTE backbone that's helping them stay above the threshold. They're definitely competing with their network. Is densification an issue? Yes, 100%. That's a problem. They have acknowledged that, and they have been talking about it. Densification is taking a priority. There's 60 some sites coming to North Texas, 80 sites to Chicago, 100, 200, whatever. They're adding sites in. It's coming. It's a little late, so you're gonna see it mature a little later as well. So they can't just up and say, hey, we're gonna do sites, and then tomorrow we'll have all those sites up and running. That's just not gonna work. There's just no way. There's still city permits, permitting that has to be approved by counties and cities and municipalities. So they got to work through that as well. There's no exemption for them, no special treatment on that. They have to work that. So as they do, next year, the year after, we'll start seeing more and more and more cell sites and C-RAN come into play. So I'll leave this article in the description down below. Again, the competition is ramping up. AT&T feels the competition. I truly believe that's why they got rid of media, because they weren't able to invest too much on wireless as they may have wanted it to, with media still being a part. They would have had to invest maybe even more money into Warner Media if it were to stick around. So it applied pressure to them. So I think they really just wanted to get rid of that so that it clears up more CapEx for wireless. And Stanky even mentioned 5 years down the line, we'll see where the industry is. And then if we need to make some changes and purchases, we can do so at that time. So let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this. I just wanted to bring this update to you guys. So not a lot of updates, new updates that we don't already know, just mainly talking about them being in third place and how the network's going to look. And Miguel Fish just said the network's going to speak for itself. I'm investing a lot now. I'm investing more next year. It's going to eventually show proof that these investments work. So that's what he's pretty much saying, not really speaking much on the competition. Same with Verizon. So we'll see what happens in the short and midterm to how this new CapEx is going to impact the network and what we see once C-band goes on air. So if you have been on the channel or you're new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow the social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.